morning, Tigers. This is Mr. O'Connor, your principal, coming live from San Luis Obispo High School. I'm in the studio of TNN, and if at all possible, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my mask off to kind of record this. Mr. Roper, our executive producer, is in the studio masked, and so I'm going to remove my mask, and I hope you're all doing well this morning. Thank you. So what I'd like to try and do, at least twice a week, will be to record a very short update on what is going on campus and maybe answer any questions that students may have. I just came from Mr. Johnson, senior government first period class on Zoom, and I popped in and I asked the students to type in the chat box any questions that are burning issues that they would like answered at this moment in time, so I'll reference some of those questions. Before I do that, I want to say thank you so much to all of you. This is our first week of distance learning. I know it's not what everybody would like to have. I know it's a situation where we'd love to be on campus and live with our teachers, and I know our teachers and our teaching staff would like that also. But I want to give a big shout out to different groups of people. I want to give a big shout out first and foremost to our teachers. They're doing an amazing job. They're working tirelessly to make lessons come alive. They're working through technology issues. They're trying to make sure that everyone stays connected and stays focused. And I just want to say thank you, teachers. I know it's been a long week. I want to recognize you and honor you, and I'm so blessed to work alongside you. The second group that I want to recognize is our support staff. This week we've been doing an amazing job on our distribution of materials. It's been fun seeing some of you in the parking lot, picking up your books, picking up your art supplies, picking up guitars, computers, whatever it may be. Our support staff, which is mostly our clerical team that's in the main office, have been busy putting about 1,600 personalized packages together with all textbooks and all materials. It's a huge feat. It almost looks like an Amazon distribution center in the big gym right now. So we started on Wednesday of distributing with materials, and we continued yesterday, and then we're going to finish today. So if you're in the end of the alphabet, don't forget to come in this afternoon between 1 and 5, or get your parents to come by to pick up materials. Key piece of information. For any student that missed the distribution, Monday afternoon from 1 to 5, we will have the distribution center, which will come in through the wrestling room, available. That means that you'll be lined up, socially distant, mask wearing, and you'll be waiting outside, and then we will get to you in due course. So that's anybody who missed their window. That'll be Monday afternoon between 1 and 5. Again, thank you for our clerical support team who've put an amazing amount of work and hours in putting our whole plan together. And the final group I want to thank is our custodian team. Our custodians have been working night and day not only to make sure that our classrooms are sanitized for our teachers to teach from, but they've also been instrumental in making sure that we get our distribution of materials from our big gym all the way to the parking lot and then back again in the evening each and every day. And so they are really working overtime to make sure that it's a smooth operation. So a big shout out to all three groups. From some questions that come up from the senior government class that I want to kind of address. First question that I received, and I'm going to go to my notes here, from Gigi Moore. How far is Measure D going on campus? Gigi, thank you for that question. It's interesting, as you're on campus right now, as I'm on campus without students but with staff, I see the progress that's getting made by our construction teams. Right now, for 9th grade students, they're probably unaware of some of the buildings that I'll reference, but for you sophomores through seniors, you'll have a fair idea of where I'm talking about. So in the main quad right now, outside the 100 building, the wings and where the library was, we've got huge excavators on site, and they are rebuilding what will eventually become our science labs. On the back of campus between the 300A, the 300B, and near the Ag building, we are finalizing our canopies up in that area, huge freestanding spaces that we'll be able to have almost like outdoor maker spaces. It's very, very exciting. For the student athletes, with the practice field that's between the portables and the new gym or the big gym is getting worked on daily. I saw a concrete truck in there this morning pouring concrete on our new softball diamonds, so we're very, very excited about that. Yesterday I was inside the brand new theater. Oh my gosh, I can't even do it justice. The brand new seating that have been brought in, the retractable cushioned seats, phenomenal. Maybe I'll update next week and send you guys some pictures of that, and maybe a little video so that you can see what I'm talking about. And then finally, out the front of campus, the concrete guys are finishing off the driveway up to the main admin building, so we're again equally excited about that. So Gigi, thanks for that question. There's a lot of progress taking place, a lot of work going on, so great question. Second question that I'm going to reference would be The schedule. So right now, as you know, we're on a schedule where it's alternating days, an A day, a B day. You guys have all went through that this week, where we have periods 1, 2, and 3 in the mornings on one day, and then periods 4, 5, and 6 the next day in the mornings. I want to, hear from you guys eventually. How is small group instruction going in the afternoon? There's an allotted time, 30 minutes per class period for each of those days that you're in, and then there's office hours. So right now we have half day, 1, 2, 3, or 4, 5, 6 classes, and then in the afternoon, starting approximately around 12:45, we'll have small group instruction for 30 minutes, and then we have those office hours. I would ask all of you to take advantage of those office hours. I would ask our teachers to keep initiating contact to students in the small group instruction, because it gives teachers an opportunity to not only connect with you, but also to provide much needed help and guidance in any subject matter you may need. The question came up, well, will this continue for much longer? Right now, we're planning on continuing our distance learning platform, our plan, all the way through at least winter break, which will take us all the way to January. We will reassess and look at what the data tells us, what the science data tells us about infection rates. We will work with our district office and our board of trustees to then clearly communicate what the plan may be post-winter break, early January. The question came up, if we do return to school, what might that look like? One of the parts of the plan, if we return to school, might be a hybrid model. And in a hybrid model, what we would have is a situation where students in, for example, Mr. Johnson's first period government class might be split in half. In fact, they would be split in half, alphabetized perhaps, but we would try and have a small number of students, possibly 15 to 17 as a max, come to school in the morning for Mr. Johnson's first period class. And then the other half of Mr. Johnson's class would come in the afternoon. So the class would be split. So imagine all the way across campus, we would have a capacity perhaps of approximately 800 students on campus. But those are things that we're working out logistically if we come back on some sort of hybrid model. But again, I don't have a crystal ball at this time, so I can't give you a definitive answer on that. I apologize. The question also come up, what about sports? What's going on with sports? As you know, that sports throughout the nation and throughout the world, in many situations, have been kind of on pause. Even at the professional level. And the college level, we're seeing a lot of colleges and the NCAA making statements and various conferences making adjustments. And as you know right now, sports are on pause from a competitive perspective all the way to January. So again, that'll be determined as we get closer to January what it might look like when it comes to competition. But we're hearing a lot of chatter out there on the social media where some schools in the local area are going to be allowed to start practices and things like that. I saw myself on the news that a school in the Santa Maria area, we're starting practice, socially distant. And for right now, we're still on pause. In San Luis Coastal, San Luis Obispo High School, Morro Bay High School, from an athletics perspective, we're still on pause. We have to pay attention to what the research says, what the data says. We want to keep everybody safe and healthy, and we are monitoring that. I know as a district and as a school site, we will be meeting again latter part of next week to kind of reassess and to check where we're at. So that's where we're at with sports right now. Status quo, we're on pause. Everything is remote, distance, virtual, whatever terminology you want to use, okay?
Hi everyone, my name is Marcy Vidal. I'm the athletic director here at San Luis Obispo High School. We hope to have you back on campus soon for athletics. We don't know what soon means, but we hope to have you back soon. In the meantime, make sure that you are doing all of your paperwork on sportswear. You can find that on our link at our website, and make sure and get your physicals done if you can in anticipation for sports hopefully starting soon. Thanks.
Silas Grove asked a great question. A big shout out to Silas for supporting me in last week when we were doing some PD, and he's playing a lot of good tunes, and I especially appreciate the playing some U2 for me, so thank you, Silas. But Silas is asking a question about graduation. I love that question, Silas. What might graduation look like in June of 2021? Oh my gosh, it seems so far away already. Silas, I hope the graduation in 2021 will be what we normally do, but I can't predict that right now. I can just hope for the best. But as we get closer, not only to January, we'll be able to have more of a fuller picture of what graduation and other ceremonies might look like. Another student asked a great question. I think it might have been Lauren Horsley. A big shout out to Lauren. Lauren was asking a question, if we do come back to school in January in a hybrid model of some sort, will there still be activities? Will there be dances? Will there be normal kinds of social interactions that we would normally have at school? Honestly, Lauren, I don't have an answer for that. I apologize. We have to look at what the data says. We want to keep everybody safe. And so we'll cross that bridge, as we say in Ireland, when we come to it, okay? Last question, let me see, comes from Kylie Appleby. So Kylie asked a great question. What would finals look like at the end of this semester? And so Kylie, right now, what we're looking at for final exams, I believe would be the 13th of January, the 14th of January, and the 15th of January, which would be a Wednesday, a Thursday, and a Friday. And what we're looking at is possibly 2 final exams on each day. For example, period 1 and 2, perhaps on the Wednesday, perhaps periods 3 and 4 on the Wednesday, and perhaps periods 5 and 6 on the Friday. And again, we're still putting that plan in place, but we'd be looking at probably 2 exams per day and making them probably 2-hour examinations. We're working with our staff to finalize that. Again, we're just finishing the first week of the semester. We've got about 17 more teaching weeks to finalize that, and we'll communicate that to you. Again, Tigers, I want you to stay safe. I want you to stay socially distant. I want you to wear masks whenever possible. And I want you, if you have questions, I want you to email me, loconnor@slcusd.org, questions, and perhaps I can address your questions in coming podcasts or reach outs and communication. This weekend, please relax, recharge, rejuvenate, and I look forward to seeing everybody in their Zoom meetings on Monday morning. Be safe, Tigers. Peace out.